So today I want to talk about how to build a Battlemaster fighter in D&D Beyond. I'll be going through levels 1 through 6, I will be rolling our ability score improvements, and additionally, and primarily what this video will be about, is focusing on how to apply feats to your character. F-E-A-T-S. Feats add a bit more flavor to your character, they give you additional features and abilities, or maybe just give you a taste of what a class like that could offer. So let's get started. I'm Johnny, by the way. This is JohnnyGMs, and I want to help you make your perfect character in D&D. So today I'll be mostly focusing on the vanilla content for Dungeons & Dragons, such as the Forgotten Realms content. I won't be using any Magic the Gathering, Eberron content, or any homebrew for this build. The only options I'm enabling are feats, of course, and digital dice. So that's about it. So let's get started. So as you can tell, I picked a human, or in this case, a variant human, and I'll give you the answer as to why in a minute. So let's go over our abilities. We have a choice of one language. So I'm going to be picking Draconic, and this is for story reasons. So let's apply our ability scores. So I'm going to be going for a strength build, so 1 to strength. And I want this character to be a bit more wiser, so I'm going to add 1 to wisdom. We also get an additional skill, so I'm going to be focusing on wisdom for this, so we're going to be picking survival. So this is where we pick our feat. It's a feature that you can add to your character during your ability score improvements. The only other way you can obtain this beforehand is if you're a variant human or a custom lineage. Feats tend to give you unique abilities or abilities that flavor your class or favor your character in general. They can give you little bonuses or additions to build your character the way you want to build them. So in this case, we're picking Crusher. I'm going to be improving my strength score by 1 with this. The Crusher feat also allows you, when attacking an enemy once per turn, you can push them 5 feet away from you. Pretty handy for control purposes. And additionally, on a critical hit, your allies and yourself gain advantage on the next attack against this creature until the start of your next turn. So next we're going to go over the description. So let's give our character a name. I'm thinking Sam. Also, let's give our character Sam a portrait. There we go. So I ended up rolling a Hermit. A Hermit gives us 2 skills, Religion and Medicine. We also get the Herbalism kit, which can be used to make healing potions and antitoxins. And we're going to be picking another language, so let's pick Elvish. We also have the discovery feature. It's up to you what you do with this. You can discuss it with your DM. It could be a secret temple or a monastery or something you're trying to protect. So now we're going to be picking our personality traits. In this case, I'm going to be picking number 2. I'm utterly serene in the face of danger. We're going to be picking number 5. I'm oblivious to etiquette and social expectations. So let's pick an ideal. So I'm going to go for number 1. My gifts are meant to be shared with all, not used for my own benefit. So next we're going to go into bonds. So we're going to be picking number 6. My isolation gave me great insight to an evil only I can destroy. I think I'm going to pick number 2. So I'm hiding from the ones who are still hunting me. Maybe one day I'll confront them. And on to our flaws. Number 2. So I harbor dark and bloodthirsty thoughts, which unfortunately my meditation failed to quell. So let's go on to our character detail. I'm going to pick Chaotic Good for my alignment. So, Sam will worship Baphomet, god of metallic dragons. As for lifestyle, I think I'm going to pick poor. So as you can see, this is our personality characteristics, such as personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. So, let's talk backstory. You once worked alongside dragon hunters. Yourself and your friend were good at it. Ruthless, in fact. But one fateful day, your choices led to a lot of people getting hurt. And your friend turned on you and blamed you for the whole debacle. You went into hiding to avoid your once friends, now turned enemies, and to hide from your past transgressions. But you weren't alone long. You would befriend a dragon, a creature you once called an enemy. Was it fated, or is irony just a cruel mistress? So let me show you how to roll your ability scores. As you can see, I've rolled a set number already. So let me show you an example of how to assign your ability stats. So I'm going to assign this 8 that I rolled to my charisma. As you can see, the 8 is assigned to the charisma above. So let's unassign our 8 from our charisma and roll some new stats for ourselves. This is a perfect example of when your rolls don't go your way, as you can see. As you can tell with our last roll, we got a pretty good number. I'm going to pick the ones I've rolled before. I usually give my players the option of rolling 3 times and picking the row that they like the best. Let's assign our ability scores. And there you have it. So these will be our ability scores. So let's get to our class. So we're going to begin at first level, like most people of course. Most classes get 2 proficiencies. So we're going to pick perception and we're going to pick athletics. You also get to pick a fighting style when you begin. In this case, I'll be picking dueling for this build. This gives you a +2 to damage rolls when wielding only one weapon in one hand. This is an ideal fighting style if wielding a shield and a one-handed weapon, such as a mace or a sword. Additionally, at first level, we gain a feature called Second Wind. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest before you can use it again. So at second level, we gain the feature Action Surge. On your turn, you can take 1 additional action. So in this case, this could be an attack, grabbing an object, grappling somebody, interacting with something, pushing, pulling. It could be just about anything really. And in some cases, casting spells as well. Surprising nobody, we're going to be picking Battle Master. When you pick this archetype, you learn maneuvers. As you gain levels in this class, you learn 2 additional maneuvers, 7th, 10th, and 15th level. In order to use your maneuvers, you must use your superiority dice, which you have 4 of. Each of these are d8s, 8-sided dice. You regain all of these uses when you finish a short or long rest. In some cases, a target must make a saving throw to resist your maneuver's effects. You must add 8 plus your proficiency bonus, plus your strength or dexterity modifier of your choice. The higher the modifier, the more difficult an enemy has for resisting it. We also get to pick something called Student of War. This allows us to pick up an artisan tool, so we're going to be picking up wood carving tools. So let's pick our Battlemaster maneuvers. So for our first Battlemaster maneuver, we're going to pick Menacing Attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to frighten the target. Our next Battlemaster maneuver is going to be Bait and Switch. When you're within 5 feet of a creature on your turn, you can expend 1 superiority die and switch places with that creature, provided you spend at least 5 feet of movement and the creature is willing and isn't incapacitated. This movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. Roll your superiority die. Until the start of your next turn, you or the other creature of your choice gains a bonus to your AC equal to the number rolled. Absolutely fantastic. This maneuver was added in Tosh's Cauldron of Everything. For our last maneuver, I'm going to be picking Pushing Attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to drive the target back. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and if the target is large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, you push the target up to 15 feet away from you. So let's calculate our save DC for that pushing attack. 8 plus our proficiency, which at this level is +2, so that's a 10, plus our strength modifier, which is a +4, so that is a DC save of 14. We are going to be picking the Gift of the Metallic Dragon. So, Gift of the Metallic Dragon provides us with Draconic Healing. You learn the Cure Wounds spell. You can cast this spell without expending a spell slot. Once you cast this spell in this way, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. If you do have a spell slot though, you can cast it, but in this case, being a fighter, we don't have that ability. We can also use our Wisdom to cast it, which is quite useful. Additionally, we get the ability Protective Wings. You can manifest Protective Wings that can shield you or others. When you or another creature you can see within 5 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to manifest spectral wings from your back for a moment. To grant a bonus to the target's AC equal to your proficiency bonus, which is a +2 against that attack roll, potentially causing it to miss. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, which is a +2 as I mentioned before, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So now we level up to level 5. Beginning at 5th level, you can attack twice instead of once, whenever you take the attack action on your turn. And yes, if you use your action surge, this means you can make 4 attacks. That's how great action surge is. So, we finally reach level 6 in the fighter. So, we're going to pick Shield Master. If you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to try and shove a creature within 5 feet of you with your shield. If you aren't incapacitated, you can add your shield's AC bonus to any dexterity saving throw you make against a spell or any other harmful effects that targets only you. And finally, if you are subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw, such as a fireball for instance, you only take half damage. You can use your reaction to take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw, interposing your shield between yourself and the source of the effect. An absolutely incredible feat. Great for anyone who wants to go for the shield and sword combo. And finally, let's choose our equipment. You're best to pick equipment over gold. The second one is pretty good, but we want a little bit more AC, so we're going to be picking Chainmail, as it's more focused around strength anyway. Next, we're going to be picking Shield and one martial weapon of your choice. I'm going to be picking a Warhammer. A Warhammer and a shield. That will be perfect. We're going to pick the light crossbow with 20 bolts. And finally, we're going to be picking the Explorer's Pack. So, onto our character then. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hoped it was informative and it gave you a pretty good guide on how to build a fighter. Using D&D Beyond has helped greatly. Just recently, one of my players used it and it made the management side of D&D so much easier. Especially using your strength score to the best of its abilities, as it calculates your weight and your weight distribution and etc, etc. So don't hesitate using it because it's an absolute fantastic tool. If you got this far into the video, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll be doing more of these in the future, possibly on spellcasting, on gnome casters, ritual casting, the whole shebang. Stay tuned for that in the future. This has been JohnnyGMs. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.